Hello, my name is Bridget. I've been a member of the Journey for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in August. I was raised the youngest of 7 children. When I was 10 years old, my mother, who was my rock, had a massive stroke. All of us children had to be brought into the hospital, and we were told that she was going to not make it through the night, and so that we needed to say our goodbyes. Miraculously, she did survive through the night, and she continued to survive. However, she would never be the same, and she was severely disabled after her stroke for many years. Because of my mother being so disabled, our social services was asked for us to pick a legal guardian, and at the time my grandmother lived with us, and she was a practicing alcoholic, and my father was with us as well, and we had to choose between my father and my grandmother. And we chose my grandmother. So my father, a week or two later, packed up his stuff, very hurt and angry, and left. I didn't see him or have any contact with him at all. No letters, no cards, no birthday gifts or Christmas gifts from the time I was 10 until I was about 18. So a lot of pain and trauma, and it was about age 11 that I learned that I could drink alcohol and that pain would temporarily subside. By the time I was in 9th grade, I had already tried every drug imaginable. It didn't matter what it was. I just would ask, what is it? And then I would take it, and then I would ask, what's it gonna do? And it didn't matter. I just wanted to feel different. And so subsequently, I continued that lifestyle for the next 20 years. During that time, I had 3 children, all 3 different fathers, never married any of them. When my oldest daughter was 9, she moved with her father to Arizona, probably to get away from me. My middle son, Kyle, was born, and by the time he was 2, he went to live with my brother and his wife. And then I had Katie a few years later, or 3 years later, and she's my youngest. So I have Kirsten, who's 25, Kyle, who is 16 now, and Katie, who is 13. Many times I should have went to jail, should have been arrested, could have been killed, could have been raped. Don't know how all of that didn't happen, but when I was 38 years old, God finally did for me what I wouldn't do for myself, and I was arrested for possession of meth. And at that time, Katie was put into the system because I did 90 days in a county jail here in Irvine. So I was in the jail at Irvine, and the social worker came to see me, and she was upset and angry, and she said to me, she said, "Why does your daughter not know her name?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Your daughter does not respond to her name. Why doesn't she know her name?" And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. What are you calling her?" And she said, "Brianna." And I said, "Well, I've never called her Brianna. Her name's Brianna Caitlin, but I've always called her Katie." And so in that moment, something broke inside me. And I went back to my bunk in the dorm with 60 women in that jail. And I hit my knees and I prayed. I surrendered to God in that moment. And I begged him to help me, to change my life. And he started to put things into place immediately, overnight even. My life, he just started to put everything in order at the right time with the right people in the right places. I was so blown away at how big God stepped into my life and how quickly. I was kind of actually mad about it because I didn't know all I had to do was surrender to him. And so I wasted, so much time and energy and talent on not living my life for him. I got Katie out of the foster care system, and I got my own apartment for the first time in my whole life, and went to school and got a certification in drug and alcohol studies and criminal justice. That person, before I surrendered to God, would have hid behind a drink or a drug or a man. And today I know that I'm God's child, and that if I were to do that would be a slap in his face. And that more importantly, I don't even feel the need to do that. He has completely lifted the obsession, the thought, even when my mother passed away recently and Rhonda's passing, those thoughts never came in my mind to do anything but to just lay my life down before him and know that he's in control and he's in charge. And I trust him completely with my life today, no matter what the circumstances are. So no comparison with that old Bridget and this Bridget you see today. And God's brought me here to journey. He just continues to keep showing off in my life in just big ways. And I'm so honored and privileged to be a part of this congregation, to allow my gifts to be used for him I love it. I love this church. I love what God's doing in my life, and I'm really, really blessed to be a part of this church and to share what he's done with me in my life.